When I began Land's End, I was going in practically blind. I knew that it was made from the studio behind Monument Valley, and I knew that it was getting good buzz in the VR community. Aside from that, I really didn't know what to expect. I had seen some pictures of the game, but hadn't seen it in motion. I was completely unprepared for what I was about to experience, and I'm happy about that. I think that Land's End might best be appreciated in this way, and so I'm in the strange position of wanting you to stop this video and just go play the game and then come back and watch. You're probably wondering if it's worth 8 of your hard-earned dollars. The short answer is yes. The long answer is also yes, it just takes longer to say it, and it's more interesting. There were moments where I wasn't certain that Land's End was worth the money because it's so short, coming in at under an hour, but I still want to play it now, and I can't even tell you how many times I've had to play it for this review, and that says something. Okay, so that's my sales pitch. If you want to experience it blind like I did, go now. If it's too late for that, or you're the sort who finishes what they start, no excuses, then it's time to dive into the review. At a nigh insultingly basic level, Land's End is a game of connect the dots. To move, you look at dots. To do puzzles, you connect dots, drawing lines with your face. That sounds unpleasant. It isn't. To move blocks, you look at some sort of cross thingy, but that's neither here nor there. The truth is, Land's End is barely a game at all. Even on the Oculus Store, it's labeled as experience/casual. But that's not a strike against it. In VR, some of the coolest experiences you will have won't be games. What it is an awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping tour through highly stylized locations based on places such as Iceland, Saudi Arabia, and a place I had to Google the pronunciation for, the Hebrides. If that's wrong, your beef is with Google. You start the game inside a cave where you stare at a white dot for a second or two, and then you move toward it. Sometimes it seems like you're walking, sometimes it seems like you're flying. I've seen this method of traversal before, and I didn't really care for it. But us two seem to have perfected it, making it so that you are completely restricted in where you can move, but that you never feel like you are. To start, I was disappointed that they chose this method. I put my controller down and resigned myself to the doldrum of looking and tapping that this game was surely going to be. I'm big enough to admit I was wrong. Not only does this choice mean that everyone with an S6 or better Gear VR can play the game, regardless if they have a controller or not, us two have you flying across chasms and from mountain peak to mountain peak so often that you are too busy having your mind blown to worry about the fact that you aren't fully in control. The quote-unquote puzzles in this game are less puzzle than they are Zen relaxation activities. You will never feel like your mind is being challenged to think harder. If anything, the puzzles are designed to say, chill out, slow down, you got this bro, stop overthinking everything. I believe my number of attempts on any one puzzle maxed out at 2, but that's as it should be since wanting to put my fist through the screen would conflict with the overall aura of this game. Plus, it's really hard to do when the screen is strapped to your face. One of the coolest parts of the game is when you get to move giant stone blocks with your mind. There are some puzzles where the dots are not where they ought to be, and it's up to you and your superpowers to fix it. All it takes is a good strong stare down and the blocks will do your bidding. At this stage of mobile VR where your hands aren't in the game, the next best thing is to move things with your mind. It really does feel like that's what you're doing. Overall, Land's End is a highly entertaining experience that isn't quite like anything I've ever played before. It might seem overpriced at $8, when the entire game can be completed in under an hour, but there are so many moments of greatness, brilliance, and wonder that I absolutely believe it is worth it. Thanks for tuning into the video. For the written review and the VR Giant final score, head over to vrgiant.com. To keep up with VR Giant reviews, hit like and subscribe on the video and head over to the site to sign up for the newsletter.